up to 10 minutes, 2 minutes per individual. Anybody wishing to make public comment?
No.
Okay. Welcome, Diane. Good to see you in the new year.
Thank you.
On to approval of November 1, 2022 minutes. Is there a motion to approve the minutes as provided?
I move to approve the minutes.
A second.
Moved made by Mr. Love, seconded by Gino. Any further discussion? There none, motion carries. On to the approval of the October, November, December, and January treasurer's report.
Not January.
Not January.
Yes, sorry, there's a typo.
Yes.
All right, okay. So motion to approve the October, November, and December treasurer's report.
I didn't see anything unusual, did you?
No, there's only a couple things to point out. If you notice some of the dues and subscriptions, we've figured out that a couple things were misclassified, and we're working on cleaning that up. But outside of that, there's really not much change. We're under budget, and that's about it. There's really nothing.
And I will offer just one. When we go into February, Anna and I just were talking about it. When we do a closeout reconciliation for January, there will be one item with Decker and Company that will seem a little off basis. They billed us for 3 months instead of individually as they have been. We'll explain that. We'll put an asterisk or something by it.
So we're gonna do it quarterly instead of monthly?
No, I'm having to go back to monthly. I don't like it looks like there's an increase in cost when they do it quarterly.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's the same thing, but I know there will be a board member question why we increased paying them, but when they check clears and it's reflected on a reconciliation, it'll be for 3 months, the last quarter of last year. So, yeah.
All right. Any questions?
Okay. Any further discussion? Hearing none, is there a motion on the floor?
Motion.
I make a motion to accept the financials for October, November, December.
Okay, motion by Gino. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ed. Further discussion? Hearing none, motion carries. Item number 5, committee reports. Ag development.
We did have an ag meeting last week. As I've said before, we're looking at more of the economic development or economic aspects of ag in the county and looking at numbers. So we're moving forward with a little bit of a new direction in the ag world and seeing how we can be more responsive to the small ag community as an economic indicator and developer.
Okay. Development.
Marketing.
Yeah.
We did not meet in December.
You want me to add something real quick for you?
Sure.
Just real quickly, Chair hadn't been informed yet. We did drop the teaser press announcement at the press advisory. Got to use the right terminology. We have a press advisory that went out today for the Jumpstart Jefferson that's showing interest in. It's on social media. It's been sent out region-wide and statewide. We'll do a more in-depth dive the end of the month. Registration opens the 15th of February. And we did have, with Krista's great assistance, we now have 3 sponsors that are bringing in-kind value to the initiative. The credit hour, the credits that are being offered by Blue Ridge have a cash value. Moises, thank you. Moises from a marketing company based here in Ransom.
He does videos, yeah.
And he's doing headshots for all the participants. They'll be able to walk away with, utilize on our endeavors. But he's going to do a follow-up for when the winner is selected. They will have a 60-second video that'll talk about who they are and what they're doing. and that has a cash value of $4,000,
Yeah, that's
just
great.
his assistance.
Great.
And then another in-kind, we talked about Heather McIntyre from the chamber, and free membership, the value added in the membership for a year and all the amenities that come with that. We have a meeting with BCT Friday and CNB Wednesday to talk about out of their community reinvestment dollars if they could assist us in some of the costs. All the work's been done with Krista's help and Anna. All the work has been done, completed for the Opera House in Shepherdstown to host the closing, the pitch night, and very, very comfortable where we're at. And we did engage one other thing. We did engage Orion Strategies to help us do the press advisories, the press releases. They're going to set up editorial board conversations for staff, board members if wanted, with editorial like at Martinsburg Journal, State Journal, get us the right press that we need to for this endeavor. So it's a great hands-on everyone, but Krista's really led this really well.
I will say that I was talking to somebody last week who didn't know I was in all this, who mentioned that to me. Said, you should check this out. It was like, well, I'm actually on that.
That's cool.
So,
That's awesome.
yeah. So whatever you're doing is working.
Well, it's a great team effort. I appreciate that. So it'll be fun. Actually, it's gonna be a lot of fun. It might be a little headache behind the scenes, but it's gonna be a lot of
It's gonna
fun.
be crazy.
It's gonna be something, but we're gonna have fun at it. So yeah, whatever it is, we're still gonna get back to the root word of not dysfunctional but fun. So anyway, that's all I had. I apologize. So
No,
Government Legislative Affairs, I don't believe they met.
real quickly, James was gonna call in. I spoke with him. We will have an email going out. We are gonna meet next Thursday. It's open to everyone, anyone on the Development Authority, on the board. We're going to meet next Thursday at 7 o'clock.
Okay.
Here?
Everybody put that on. Yeah.
Virtual.
Virtually. Yes, sir. Yeah. Apologize.
And finally, budget finance.
We haven't had a meeting, but what about this meeting for the budget? Did anybody, am I the only one that answered?
We haven't set, no, we haven't set anything. Chair and I are developing the budget with some staff buy-in. We're going through that. We should have the narrative completed Friday, the draft. We will get to you all.
So we'll meet sometime in the next couple of weeks.
We are, and what we're gonna have to do is probably look at calling a special board session, just virtually, to review it, make any questions. Well, we have to have it submitted. There's a new approach for budget real quick for the county. It's more methodical than it has been. We submit by 14 February. March, we will each have 30 minutes as department heads to talk about last year, this year's budget. It's more engaging than past endeavors. So, and that's going to be reflected in the engagement we have with you all for the committee and whatnot. So we'll have some attestations of some of the wish list items we have. So we'll get down into that next week.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay. Item number 6 under old business.
What
I'm
is
just
it?
going to call this the Todd executive.
What? Oh,
Um,
okay, yeah. Hey, Sean, it would be
You can speak
easier.
up.
I don't mean this. We can't hear you. If you would just do the things, I mean, we can't hear you at all, and it's because we don't have speakers hooked up. I don't know.
No, he's breaking up.
Yeah.
You are breaking up. Can you tell us, lead the motions, but have Chris, let Todd present this?
okay.
Not-
So on to item 6 alpha.
Now we can hear you.
I'm gonna call this the Todd meeting because I keep going to Todd. Todd, would you like to address recommendations from the bylaw committee?
Trying to find my sheets here. We met about the bylaws, asked staff to give us put together a list of what we want to change, which is included in your packet, which I seem to have lost in the last minute. Well, there it is. Okay. All right. And we've known the bylaws need to be updated for a while. Just want to go down the list a little bit. It's subcommittees will meet quarterly at the discretion of the committee chair, while the executive boards will meet monthly. We want to remove section 7 of the bylaws pertaining to meeting format. There's a bunch of spelling and grammatical and numerical problems in there that we want to correct. Any references to gender, we want to make that neutral. We want to make the finance committee a standing committee, meet quarterly, and adjust meeting dates and time. So I guess we need a motion to put this to the full board.
Yes, sir.
Or is any discussion?
What's I don't have the bylaws in front of me, but section 7, what is?
Section 7 is the meeting structure, the meeting
Oh, yeah.
format.
Yeah.
It sets how the agenda is set, precisely A through. It allows no.
It's just too specific.
It's too specific, and it doesn't allow another administration, a chair or a manager. It doesn't give them opportunity to. We all know what we're going to have structure.
It doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't.
It was put together, what,
79.
okay, 79.
1979.
You were-
Yeah.
You weren't even born yet.
So, and when I was reading through it, I was kind of shocked that was done like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never seen that in a bylaw before.
Yes.
But it was specific. You could only do meetings a certain
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
And it's like, even their way of doing it didn't make sense to the flow of the meeting.
It's probably antiquated when it came off the memory graph machine. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so, you know,
Yeah.
being
The what?
stupid. Oh boy.
Oh,
You gotta
Whoa.
remember that.
Boy, when
Drums
real
that
quick,
you
you
crank.
have, no, real quick, we used to have
That's
this big thing where
great
you
scene
turned it
in
and
Fast
made
Times at
copies.
Ridgemont High.
That's how you
Ever
make
seen the
copies.
movies? Where they all sniff the test,
No.
hands out the test.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah.
That's from
Ed's not old enough to know what a ditto machine is.
Yeah.
A what?
Ditto.
oh, geez.
They call them dittos.
Yeah.
Yes, anyway,
Yeah, or
yeah, so,
mimeographs.
yeah, sorry.
So, any discussion? Do you guys have any problem with any of these?
No, I agree with you on section 7. I did review that real quick, and yeah, there's like no flexibility.
Yeah.
If you want to change order and things like that. Yes, so I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me throw this against the wall.
Okay.
Instead of it dictating the agenda's order, would it be more beneficial to have it say the following must be included in an agenda for a meeting and leave it at that?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that would be good.
That way we don't like inadvertently drop off something like on this meeting with the director's report.
Right. Now, everything that's on the agenda makes sense that it's on the agenda, but it doesn't make sense to dictate the order.
Yeah, it's just like the bylaws,
Yeah.
director's report. I mean, it's very antiquated. So.
So if everybody's okay with this.
Oh, yeah.
So we need a motion to take this to the board.
I think so.
Yes.
Well, I make a motion then that we take the bylaw committee recommendations to the full board.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, any objections to the motion? Hearing none, motion carries. Okay, back up to the agenda. Bear with me while I scroll.
No. You don't. No. I want to move on. There's a reason.
Okay, to item 6, Bravo property sales.
Can we move that agenda to? Can we go through the items that takes more Can we go through the flow of conversation at the chair's discretion? Hold that placeholder so we can give updates on the other information. They're quick. That's a more in tune, exhaustive. That's a more encompassing conversation, and meeting will flow quicker if we can just go through the items.
Okay, before I got cut off, I was going to ask if we could bounce that down to the end, but I'm glad we're thinking the same.
Well,
I don't have a problem.
There's late.
6, no problem. 6C. Dennis, provide an ARPA update, please.
Real quickly, ARPA, we were awarded the project for RK&K to look at the engineering study for the industrial park. We have completed surveying for lots 9 and 10. They've completed the aerial drone, which will bring in some other overlays that we'll have to look at, watershed, utility easements, utility lines, etc. Where else we on there? And then we have some other engineering kind of structures coming in that'll sit, the site could sit this way, site could sit that way. The building pad, that is. On the larger endeavor of that, the review committee for site evaluation, the we've submitted names to downstream strategies, contact information. There's about 14-ish, not counting the executive committee. And Diane actually is one of the community members. She agreed, quite honestly. Thank you, Diane. Diane Beluste is one of our committee members will be on there. We're meeting this week, early next week. We're going to review the questions that are going to be asked of the committee members for consideration. One facet has already been complete. The downstream strategies was engaged to do for us in RK&K was the dive into the labor shed. It's about a 50-mile radius of the center of Jefferson out. So we make sure we know what the skill sets are within 50-mile radius. We understand what we're looking for a site initiative, and then make sure that target sectors that we currently have from the strategic plan and or ones that we feel we're eligible for, that all that criteria adds up, that we have the incumbent workforce in place to meet the needs of what we're going after. So it's kind of a mini asterisk of a marketing strategy to it as well. I'm not sure when we're going to set that committee. I would say March, with information going out. You invite letters, things like that in February. That's long and short summarization of that.
Okay, any questions for Dennis regarding the update?
When will that be all presented to the board at some point?
We will. We're going to do that. We're going to do that at our February meeting. So.
Okay.
No, wait a minute. Question. No, I don't know what you. Clarify what you just asked me. Present what to whom?
All the findings.
Oh yes, sir. After it's completed. Yeah.
Okay.
No, we're not doing that until we get it to a completion. Okay. We're looking at that sunsetting by May or June. Okay. And it has to. I really want to keep it in this FY for all the billables. So.
Okay.
But we were allowed till 24 to spend the money because it's a federal tranche that gave us that money. So, it's fairly good. So, but I apologize. I didn't know if you wanted review prior, but no.
No, I just wanted an idea of when.
No, at the end, we're looking May, June.
Okay.
Okay. Anything further for Dennis on that item before we move on?
Member.
I'll do it. I'll ask him to do that. That's not anybody's fault. That's my fault already.
Okay, on to 7 Alpha, legislative overview.
Real quickly, I hope you all know Wednesday is the setting of the state legislature, the State of the Union, the State of the State address. I apologize. The State of the State address will be this Wednesday. What I glean, and I'm fairly fastidious in trying to follow this. A lot of topics that we'll be seeing this time are taxation, especially with the failure of statewide of Amendment 2. There's going to be different ideas on the policy that will come forth. One from the governor, another from the House, another from the Senate. And you're probably going to see the House and the governor be more in line, more in concert. The state Senate leadership has made, every time I've listened to them talk since late November, it has been, we're going to do what we want to do, and we will work with the majority we have in the House, and we will come to terms in our party what we are going to do. They consider the governor very much a lame duck, and there's no Probably want Christmas cards exchanged from the Senate leadership and the governor this year. So that's a nice way of putting it. We will see for economic development, I'm going to make sure we track if there's anything for workforce training, workforce preparedness, anything to do with site readiness, or if there's any issues that come up in the sector that's hot and heavy for us that we target or have in the community. We'll try to be cognizant of that and get information out to the committee, to the full board. We do have a presentation. We're part of the regional organization, the Eastern West Virginia Economic Alliance. That's 4 counties of Jefferson, Berkeley, Morgan, and Hampshire. Wait a minute, Jefferson, Berkeley, Morgan. Yeah, Hampshire makes the 4th. We're going to present our legislative agenda, if that is appropriate, to our legislative delegation within the district, within the confines of the Eastern Panhandle. It's going to be on site readiness for House Bill 4002 to be fully funded. Since it still has not from last legislative session, the reasons why. We gave a good allocation. Our presentation mirrors what we did to the county commission based on the communities around us. All the states around us have site readiness programs, except West Virginia. The program, what we have in Northern Virginia as far as competition on ready sites and in the Shenandoah Valley. That's about the basics of what I see. It's going to be an ironic session, and that's a nice way. I say ironic. I've never seen supermajority, one-party rule on the Board of Public Works, and no one talks to anyone. So it's going to be kind of ironic, like Alanis Morissette said, don't you think? So, but we are going to discuss that and see how the chair wants to approach that, Mr. Fijo, at the meeting next Thursday night.
Okay, any questions for Dennis on legislative overview?
Do you know the date you'll be down there?
Yes, I'll be there 22 January through 26 January.
All right, because I'll be there the week after.
We'll also be there in concert with Tourism Day, and we will be assisting the CVB with their initiative for a booth they have.
I'll stop in and say hey.
Any further questions for Dennis? Hearing none, on to 7 Bravo, Gig Ready Committee Review.
Chair, you want me to do, since you're the latency?
Yes, please.
Is that okay?
Yes, please.
Yes, sir. Next Thursday, we will be presenting from the authority and working with the Department of IT Information Technology from the county. We'll be announcing to the commission, the committee, the review committee for Gig Ready, whom would the committee selected, and making recommendation for the application to be filed with public-private partnership for increasing accessibility to FCC broadband terms, and it's not to 20 down, 3 up. It is going to be on the higher plane, which is like 5100. Don't quote me on that. I don't mean that rudely. I'm doing the numbers wrong. But basically, the sole intent of this is it allows us to go to the state and to match what the county set aside from what the state set aside for each county, to say this is the company we've chosen, and then we're going to provide broadband speeds, broadband capability to over 2,100 plus underserved households in the county. The value statement is there. And then we will be working with them in the State Development Office, the Office of Technology at state level, to build out the time calendar for that, for implementation. And we had 3 submissions, as well as every other county in the footprint of Region 9. And all 3 had pluses and minuses. But this one, price points, accessibility, and the tiers on pricing, and the strict adherence to ACP, which is the federal program to allow affected households, underserved, underprivileged households, I'm using the right word, but economic parameters as well, that they will have price points with offsets from the federal program, for the ACP program. So it's very exciting, and quite honestly, with the leadership of the chair, Mr. Fijo, county administrator, and the president county commissioner allowing us to present it from the JCDA, we did assist in the rollout, and it's very appreciative that they saw leadership from Mr. Fijo and taking this on, so we can make an announcement next week.
Before I ask if there's any questions, I just wanted to make one comment regarding the participation in the committee from the office. I couldn't have been more proud of the group that worked together from different facets of the county, and I couldn't have been more impressed with the teamwork. As an individual within the county, I was honored to be part of that team, and I look forward to good things coming to the county as a result. With that being said, any questions for Dennis regarding Gig Ready?
No.
Okay, hearing none. Back up to
Uh,
6 Bravo.
Chair,
Yes. Yes.
one thing we look at, and I apologize to interject the latency again. There's one thing we didn't put in my director's report. I wanted to go over a couple of items we're bringing forth for the full board next week, and I had oversight. We didn't put that there.
Actually, because you're a member of the group, I was going to allow you time under members' comment.
All right, that's fine. Okay.
Fit
All right.
within the agenda.
That's fine. You want to do that now to save time or no?
No, let's do
Okay.
6B, and then we can move to the final.
All right.
Okay, I'm just gonna say goodbye and leave. It was nice seeing you all.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
I need to
Thank
talk
you
to
for
a couple-
participating, Diane.
Yes.
There's an
Sean
ad.
said, I'm sorry. Sean said thank you. I apologize.
Thanks, bye-bye.
I'll call you next week about
Okay,
next
yeah, I
steps.
wanna come in and talk to you about something that I'm gonna be doing in Germany.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Cool.
Actually, it's
Send me an email.
Soon.
I will.
Okay, on to 6B, property sales.
Do we need I move that we
Do-
go to executive session?
Is there anything to go into executive session for?
Yes, sir, there is. If,
Okay.
Yes.
Motion on the floor to go to executive session by Mr. Coyle. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Gino. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Motion, any objections? Motion carries. Anna, please stop the recording.